Elon Musk
Yep, there it is.
has successfully put a Neuralink into a human's head and is now testing it. The Neuralink, from my understanding, is everything you just expect it to be. It enables control of your phone or computer and through almost any device just by thinking. Initial users will be those who have lost the use of their limbs. Imagine if Stephen Hawking, which we learned a lot about obviously over the last few weeks, could communicate faster than a speed typist or auctioneer. That is the goal, okay? So just being able to control things with your mind is now the thought of what Neuralink is, which will then change into Neuralink being able to dissect things that you're seeing in real time and give you answers.
Make you the smartest person alive.
So what I'm saying is we need to keep these things out of sports.
Have to.
I would believe. Yeah, we need some guardrails in place.
Yeah, we need to keep the Neuralinked humans out of sports because if all of a sudden Mac Jones is able to process a defense like Brock Purdy's able to do it, then what's the separator between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones? You know, if this Neuralink, as the ball's being snapped, is able to do the Amazon analytics, these two guys probably come and circle them with red, and all of a sudden they're seeing that, and then all of a sudden, hey, this is cover two. Here's highlighting the person you should play the ball to. Then are we even thinking anymore?
No.
The in-between years is the biggest part of becoming great at a sport, and it's what the separator is. So we need to make sure when we're having these conversations, Neuralink, I assume Elon thinks it's going to do something positive for something. And I assume there is some aspect of society that is thinking to themselves, this is the worst decision of all time. Why are we doing this? I would just like to be the portion of society that says, got to keep these out of the fucking game. And I don't know how that's going to work out. I assume we're going to see Neuralinked athletes all over the place. I assume there's going to be weird parents who put Neuralinks in their kids so that they can win youth football games better than everybody else.
Sure.
And we don't need that. AJ.
We have to get a scanner. They're going to have to scan people's head because if you're coming into the league, at the combine, they're going to say, hey, we need to see if you got Neuralink in your head because obviously you're going to hide it because you're going to have a huge advantage over the rest of the players.
Youth football, you got to step on a scale, right, to make sure you make weight. They need to also are going to have to create put your kid's head in here.
Scan it.
Tell me if there's a computer in there or a brain in there. That's what we need to know. Nick, what's the big fear here? Obviously that they start thinking for themselves and turn the humans into zombies where the Neuralink controls everything they do?
Absolutely. Flip of a switch, whoever controls the main system of Neuralink could control all bodily motion and function of the implants. That is a worry. But also it's going to do some good. Allegedly, it's going to help paralyze people walk and things. So,
that's
it's kind of a
that's the
double-edged
first
sword.
thing.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I said.
Until Elon's people come down from wherever planet he's from, and then he turns everyone with a Neuralink into a fighting flesh bot.
Well, that's a negative way. Let's go back to the positive way here. If they do come down and want to brawl, apparently what I'm hearing is our paralyzed portion of society is going to be able to potentially not be paralyzed.
Oh yeah, and and that's just like the beginning as far as problems and diseases go. Like they're talking about if you have really bad eyesight, like glaucoma, things of that nature, fixes that. If you have really bad hearing, like it is the potential of it is huge. Yeah, like Chuck
might live forever.
Be all in.
Might be able to hear it. You'd put that thing in your dome?
No.
It's going to be
If I was
tough.
paralyzed, I would. I'll sign up for the trial if I'm paralyzed.
No, that not just for my hearing, but if it was something like that.
Yeah, like people who become blind throughout their life that aren't blind for their entire life, like helps them a lot. Like people who have, obviously he mentioned Stephen Hawking, like a lot of people who have cerebral palsy in one side of their body, whether it's like their right arm or their right leg or whatever, fixing that.
How about like people who have strokes and stuff?
Parkinson's, ALS,
All of it.
Sure. Anything like with the body where it's like.
See that? I'm hearing a lot of good.
There's a ton of good. It's just the Elon Army crowd and
the humanoids.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a conspiracy guy.
Birds aren't real guys going to fight for this.
I know, I'm a conspiracy guy, and I'm aware that I am the one that should be at the front lines of Elon's army. That it shouldn't be happening, but like the possibilities of it are.
We can't get a Tesla to stop at a red light. We're going to put it in our brain and be like, oh, now we're fixed.
Did you watch that? What was that movie that on Netflix?
Dirty Money?
At the End of the World?
Yeah, the not Dirty Money, no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
The one that the Obamas created.
Yeah. At the End of
You
the
guys all
World,
said
I
it
think?
sucked,
No.
so why would I watch it?
Leave the World Behind?
Leave the world
There it
behind.
is.
Leave the World Behind? Did you see the Tesla part
yeah.
of that?
Oh, yeah.
As I was watching, I'm like,
What'd they do?
Yeah, that's you.
wait a minute.
Yeah, you got
They
one.
took over your car. There's reports of Yeah, they've taken over cars and driven them off cliffs and stuff for people.
Allegedly.
Of course.
Obviously. We have no idea.
I mean, of course, I didn't name names or say who did it or what, but I'm saying there's definitely reports of that.
No, there's been big conversation by people who are pretty open-minded to things that could potentially take place about how, you can just take over the car, seemingly. Somebody can just take over what you're doing. And, I drive an electric vehicle because I thought I was saving the world when I bought it.
Mm-hmm. You are. Yeah, you are.
Well, we've talked about this numerous times.
In a way.
I did it so I could grandstand about being a hero.
Yeah.
Okay? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. And also, nice cars.
Great cars.
Like, they're very, very nice. And then as the world turns, you learn more and more and more. And am I saving the world? Am I actually? I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But the fear, though, while you're driving it, that, everything here is a computer. So we've seen computers like short circuit before. My thought is what if it just and then
speeds up.
Let alone the conspiracy theory of somebody taking over the car, which is certainly something I've heard, and I've been like, don't want to hear that, don't want to hear that. But just it's short circuiting somehow, and then just not being able to do something. But every car I've had that has been an electric vehicle has operated perfectly. Windshield wipers will freeze right here sometimes in the middle of a rainstorm.
Not good.
And then they go again, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to take the game out, blow on it, put it back in. And every once in a while, the AC will go and then down to nothing. And it's like, well, who decided it's doing that?
Yeah.
And you think, if it's able to do that, is it able to do something else? You don't know. You just keep those thoughts in your mind. But I've certainly had those fears in the past. And then when you watch that movie, they just got these
Or just smashing
Teslas
into each
are
other.
just smashing into each other, blocking all the roads and all the exits and everything. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's my biggest fear right there. I've actually thought about that numerous times. Let's hope that doesn't happen with the Neuralink.
Well, they break themselves, the Teslas, right? You don't ever even hit the brake. It just kind of eases itself.
Well,
so if it just decides, hey, I'm not braking here.
The issue with it all is that every once in a while the car will just slam on the brakes because it thinks there's something.
Yeah, beep, beep, beep.
And that's certainly something, too. Yeah. I was backing into my garage.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
And I'm just move backwards, not flying, okay, but moving at a pretty good rate. Pretty good backup driver.
Sure.
I've been floating gears since I'm a kid, so I have a pretty good handle on it. And then all of a sudden, it just slams on the brakes. It's like almost a whiplash. It's like a pretty. Oh, did I just kill some? Was there a dog back there that I didn't see? Nothing. It just sensed something was there. But that's not just electric vehicles. That's all cars that have the sensors on them now.
They're all chips now. They're all microchips. You can't just pop the hood and fix cars like you used to.
How about the ones that keep you in a lane?
The worst.
Yeah, that's annoying. It's all beeping. Everything is super annoying.
How do we let a commercial? The guy's in the truck and he's with his family. He's got kids in the back.
Chevy
his wife's
commercial,
over here. He's having he's playing a clap game and doing 85 miles an hour, not hands on the wheel.
Oh, you're saying the car's driving itself?
Yeah, the lane.
You got to be aware. Autopilot.
That's a 2024 Silverado.
There's people getting in. It sounds like a beautiful truck. There's people getting into driverless Ubers and stuff.
Yeah, no thanks.
People are terrible drivers. Still, humans operating vehicles is much more dangerous than autopilots.
Indiana's got some bad drivers. Ohio's got some bad drivers.
But what I'm saying, there's a dude.
You're what?
My Uber driver this morning.
Don't even.
Asshat.
I had a 78-year-old with Parkinson's driving me this weekend in Tampa. Guy didn't turn on the windshield wipers. I couldn't see anything. He had 2 pairs of glasses on. I thought I was a dead man. I got out of the car. I said, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this.